Oh, Bernie, I could have been a contender. Sanders once again suspends his 2020 presidential campaign. And once again left on his own, just kicking his can down the street. Ah, shucks, golly geez, guys. Don't worry, the fight's still going. I'm still with you. We won't give it. It's over, Bern. It's over. Because by all accounts, it looked like twice now that you probably should have been the nominee for your party, but they didn't want you. You know what? Maybe you're fighting for the wrong team. But that just leaves us with one question. Joe Biden, really? Geez, the guy's not dead. He's just not going to be our president. Although he should probably stand by because the Democrats choose Joe Biden. Come on down. Joe Biden is a 77-year-old white male millionaire. He represents Delaware. He has, let's call it, a checkered past with women. He may or may not be suffering early stages of dementia. Oh, and by the way, has recently been accused of sexual assault. Yep, that's the Democrat nominee. After this whole woke, progressive, left, Me Too movement, that's who we're with. Nah, forget Tulsi Gabbard, Army veteran, female, minority, Andrew Yang, nah. We want the old rich white guy who abuses women. Okay, so what's that tell us about this whole movement? I think it tells us it's all a bunch of crap, and it's poisoning our minds. I mean, we've seen that completely highlighted by Alyssa Milano. Now, I don't know Alyssa Milano. Well, I just remember her from, what was the show she was on? Who's the Boss, I believe it was. She's probably a good person, I don't know, but she's wrapped up in this hysteria. When you go to somebody's Twitter page and it's just lined up all day with retweets and tweets, I mean, these people, it's a hysteria. They're in a tornado of just garbage. You got to get out of that. I mean, she recently retweeted, I think it was a New York Times article saying, now we got Trump. He's promoting the miracle drug because he's got money invested. That turns out their story's garbage. And everybody's bashed them all. But Alyssa Milano has recently endorsed Joe Biden. Well, Alyssa Milano is also one of the leading advocates for the Me Too movement. And now that she supports Joe Biden, she's had to backpedal and say, well, now she believes in the due process all of a sudden. So what we're learning is it's not about the crime. It's about who committed the crime and whether that person who committed the crime is on your side, or your side of the political aisle at least. I mean, really what it does is it undermines your whole message. And what it doesn't do is bring people together. When you tweet and promote these garbage stories and these stupid agendas, you're never going to bring people to your side. You're actually going to solidify the opposition. It's just not going to work. Now, I don't know how we come together with this garbage we're saying. I don't know how we come together as people. Like, you know, there's this preacher or evangelist, Kenneth Copeland. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's kind of went viral lately because he's talking about COVID-19 and I command you to hell and I blow you. When I look at this guy, I've never seen evil so singularly personified in a human being. But other people, I'm sure he's got a lot of followers that belong to his church, I believe, because the guy's was in controversy because he was buying private airplanes. So obviously he's got a lot of followers. So if we're starting off from a baseline, I see the guy is just looks pure evil. And then he's got people that love him apparently. Well, how do we meet in the middle? Well, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure there's good people. They might all be good people. I don't know. But we got a long way to go. And I'm not sure how we do that in the real world. You know, one thing is that we depend on news sources and news anchors and journalists to give us news and not give us opinions that are going to then, you know, drive us apart. Political agendas and what we think. No, we need journalists. You know, CBS recently tweeted out a story about a female nurse who said she quit her job because they were forcing her to work with coronavirus patients and they weren't providing masks. And so she quit her job. And this was CBS. This wasn't some hack news source. This was CBS. Well, what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to see this article and they're going to eventually spiral down. Well, the nurses aren't getting masks, and Donald Trump ain't doing his job, and Donald Trump's trying to kill people. That's not what's happening. CBS used to have a news anchor. I'm sure you're familiar with the name Walter Cronkite, who was called the most trusted man in America. Now, what happened to that? I mean, oh, how we should long for the days of Walter Cronkite and not just dealing with the garbage. And, well, I guess that's just the way it is.